If you or a loved one has been in chronic state of stress and can't break out of it, I encourage you to listen in for the next few minutes as I'm going to share with you a powerful insight that the Chinese discovered over 3,000 years ago. Hi, I'm Dr. Mancini, the Medical Director of the Center for Integrative Care, a functional medicine and peak performance center here in San Diego. So let's first break stress down so we can develop an awareness of what it really is. Because once you're crystal clear on what to look for, you then can find the right strategies to handle it. Okay, there are only three kinds of stress. Three! We have physical stress. What's physical stress? Things like accidents, injuries, traumas, and falls. We have chemical stress, such as pesticides, heavy metals, toxins, hormonal imbalances, blood sugar issues. And then we have emotional stress, such as traffic jams, 401k plans, internet connections, family tragedies, divorce, single parenting, and maybe your job. Now realize that these stressors, when they chronically bombard you, they start to break down your body. Short term, we can handle it. In fact, we have a life-saving system which is called the fight or flight response. That system is an amazing system to have. Why? Because it protects us from what? Danger. Think about this. If you stepped off a curb and a car is coming right at you, this system turns on immediately. It gets your heart racing and gets blood flowing to the legs to jump out of the way, right? You don't stand there and determine the angle at which the car is coming. No, you move, and you move quick. Now this system can give you superhuman powers. Really? You've heard the scenario where the child is stuck under a car and the mother goes and picks the car just enough to get the child out from underneath it, right? You can take that same mother, bring her into the gym the next day, and she can't even budge 1/10 of the car. Why? Because that stress response was not turned on. There was no threat to her survival or her child's. So realize that this is a life-saving system when it's working correctly. Now, all animals have this. Think about it. If you were to watch a zebra running from a tiger, and that stress response turned on, and the zebra outruns the tiger, in about 15 minutes, that zebra's stress response is turned off, and the zebra is back grazing. That's normal, on and off. Humans, on the other hand, is a whole nother story. See, we can think about the worst case scenario, and to the exclusion of everything else, we can make that thought so real, focus on it to such a degree that we can cause our body to physiologically change, to look like that event's happening. And when that happens, boom, the body gets knocked out of balance because it believes it's living in that future event. Now, let me stop here for a moment and ask you a question. How often do you or others you know get stuck in this place? If you do this often, this is a major fuel source of your stress. And you can also get stuck in a past bitter memory with all those emotions attached to that memory. And just like magic, in that moment, your brain believes it's living in the past event. And when that happens, your body responds as if it's living in the past event. Are you getting this? This is the state of mind that drives the highest amount of stress in the body. So my question again is, how often do you or someone you care about get stuck in this cycle of stress? Now, just making you aware that this is one of the primary drivers of stress will not change anything. See, what I found is by going deeper into this process of why we do this in the first place, begins to uncover the seed of these chronic patterns of stress. And by going to the source of these issues, it then begins to give you the opportunity to make profound changes in your health. Why? Because this change will begin to address the root cause instead of just the effects. Think about it. Would it not be absurd to mow your lawn and say, okay, now that I cut the lawn, I don't need to cut that again? Of course you don't say that. If the seed is still there, you'll be cutting it again and again every week for your life. If you want to stop the grass from growing, we all know that you got to kill it at its roots. And more importantly, what feeds the root. You cut off the feeding source, the root dies. That is what our outcome is. So let's break these patterns down to what I like to call the major fuel sources that feed the root of stress. Are you guys ready? I imagine I heard a yes. Okay, fueler number one. To the degree that you are stuck in a stress cycle is consistent with how much attention is stuck in past bitter memories or future worries. Now, I know you're thinking, no, I'm stressed now. Well, I do agree you're stressed now, but whatever you tell me you're stressed about is highly probable about a past negative event or a future worry. Now, you may be saying, okay, you got me there. I get it about the past, but I must think about the future. Yes, you must think about it, but the more chronically you replay a future that generates worry and anxiety, generates stress in the body now. See, I learned this fueler of stress early on when I was training to fight full contact martial arts. I initially had a lot of anxiety about the opponents I had to fight. But once I learned specific strategies that we now teach our patients at our center every day, I was able to strategize the fight and at the same time, not generate worry and anxiety from the thinking process. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm not gonna be fighting in the ring, so this is not for me. I'm just gonna turn this off and listen to some cool music. Listen, fighting in the ring is really not much different than the real world when it comes to how the mind responds to the future. Yes, in the ring, you get those physical hits, but in life, you get those emotional hits, which often hurt as bad and sometimes more. Okay, let's move on. Fueler number 2. Your brain cannot differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined or perceived. Now you might be thinking, no, I know the difference. Well, let's think about this. Have you ever had a nightmare or a dream that startled you or woke you up in fear or sweat? Or watched a movie that put you in enough fear that that same evening you locked the door to your bedroom you never lock, or you double check all the doors to your house and you pull up the sheets just enough that you can breathe? Come on, be honest, I've done it many times, even though in that moment I thought I was crazy for doing that. Remember, your brain cannot differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined or perceived. Got it? Good. Okay, let's get to the last fueler. Fueler number 3 has by far the most profound impact, and here it is. Your body believes whatever your brain is thinking as if it's happening now. Now you might be thinking, my body can't be that gullible. Yes, it is. So let me give you an example. If you're depressed or angry about a past bitter experience, when do you feel depressed or anger in your body? In the past or now? Now! And if you're worried or anxious about a future event, when do you feel that worry or anxiety in your body? Now! Your body does not know the difference between the past, the future, and now. It simply believes your brain as if it's happening when? That's right, now! Now what's amazing is that the Chinese figured this out over 3,000 years ago. And in doing so, developed very specific strategies, techniques that not only interrupt this process, but more importantly, support recovery from years of these chronic stress patterns. These principles are not only used in Chinese medicine, but also in the new field of healthcare called functional medicine. In fact, functional medicine is an evolution of Chinese medicine's view of looking upstream at diffusing physical, chemical, and emotional stress. To address these issues, we use strategies such as biomedical acupuncture, diet, lifestyle, exercise, nutrition, along with blood tests, hormone panels, and other diagnostic tests your medical doctor would prescribe pharmaceuticals. See, when you begin to interrupt patterns of stress at the level of what feeds the root cause, you're dealing less with constantly pulling those weeds out, called symptoms, signs, and disease, and dealing more with the source. Here at the Center for Integrative Care, we provide these natural medical modalities along with a new technology called Neurofeedback brain training. This technology has a dramatic impact on interrupting stress in the brain. Now I'd like to leave you with a simple yet powerful reminder. That is, the quality of your life is the quality of your brain function. Chronic stress has been shown to actually shrink and degenerate the brain. When that happens, the ability to experience life also declines. So please do something not only for yourself, but also for those that you care about that need to hear this information. So if you'd like to find out more about how we can assist you or someone you know with specific health concerns in a safe and effective way, contact our office to schedule a free consultation with one of our functional medicine specialists where they can answer any questions you have to find out if and how we can help you with your healthcare needs. I'm Dr. Mario Mancini, and I wish you the best.